Yo, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the FIFA Flow Podcast. Welcome to the brand new series, Best Player Positions, guys. Today, we're going to be starting off this brand new series with the best attackers of all time. Top three right wingers, top three left wingers, and top three strikers, guys. So, I don't know how long the episode will be. We'll aim for around 30 minutes. I don't want to make it too long, but of course, not too short because I want to give details of why I chose certain players in the certain ranking that I put them in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to talk about their careers, their skills, the reason why they're up there, the way they revolutionized football as well. Messi, Ronaldo, Pele. But anyways, guys, I want to talk about all that stuff, all that jazz. But yeah, also keep in mind before we get into the ratings, the rankings of the best attackers of all time in several positions in the attack. I want you guys to make sure throughout the whole video a lot of these players, not a lot of these players, but an example I have here: Van Basten, Pele, Jorginho. I did not watch these players. The only places I could see them from is highlights, of course. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Is like some of these players I did not watch growing up, like Van Basten, Jorginho. Of course, he was before I was even born, and of course Pele before any of us were even born in the dinosaur ages. So I want you to keep that in mind. But I'm gonna go over still why they're up there on my list, even though I haven't watched them. Why they're still up there on my list. I want to go over the reasons of that as well, and of course, just their historic players in history as well. So I'm gonna go over that. Also, so yeah, that's one thing. One disclaimer is yes, I did not watch a lot of these footballers, so maybe low ball knowledge of some of these players. And also keep in mind there are many hundreds, or maybe not hundreds, but up to 100 players or 50 players that I did not include because I want to keep it to more players that I also watched as well. An example: Samuel Eto'o, Milito. Man, he's a very underrated striker, but I did not put him in my honorable mention of today's video. In the best attackers: Milito, Diego Milito, Samuel Eto'o, Van Nistelrooy, Burkamp. Maybe he's more of a cam, so maybe he's in, probably gonna. I'll probably put him in the midfield tier list. But Lionel Messi, Jorginho, or not. I mean Garincha. You have Garincha. I mean, you have Harry Kane. I think he's a huge shout as the best strikers of all time, especially for England. Wayne Rooney, he's not on this list. Um, Lewandowski, Gerd Muller. You have all these insane players. There's probably definitely up to 50 to 100 players that I'm not mentioning that are definitely up here. But and they could honestly be better than these players that on my list as well. But the reason is because I want to keep it to more players that I have a bit more knowledge of. Maybe not as much knowledge that I should have, that I should be as a football fan, but I have more knowledge of these players than I do of other players like Gerd Muller, or Gerd Muller, should I say, like um what's his name, George Best, like Garincha, like those players. I wanted to keep it more to players that I know as well, like more to players that known in the past decade and so so keep that in mind. Low ball knowledge because I didn't really watch some of these players, and also keeping it more to the players that I have more knowledge of because there's so many other players that I didn't watch. I don't really want to rate them. I don't think it's right that we can rate like, oh, Neymar over George Best. Maybe back in the day, for the way football worked back then, George Best was better than Neymar. You could say for the way football worked back then, for the players that there was back then. You know what I mean? So I want to keep those in. I want to give those two disclaimers as well. Low ball knowledge because um low ball knowledge because I didn't watch many like some of these players, not many, but some of these players, and um also like this 50 to 100 players I did not mention because I want to keep it more to players that we know. Everyone, some of you that watch as well. I want players that we are similar with in the modern era of football. But yeah, let's get right into it. I already wrote all my players down, so I'm gonna kind of stat review. Um, let's just go right into it, guys. So I'm gonna just scroll down here, starting off with the best right winger of all time. I think without a doubt everyone should know, Lionel Andrea Messi. I think that's his name, Andres Messi or something like that. Anyways, Lionel Messi, La Pulga, the goat, man, the goat of football, of course. This guy, man, is the best player of all time. Not just in the attack, not just in the midfield, not in the defense, of course, but the best player to ever play the game. I think it's very. You could say like, oh, maybe defenders are very underrated because a lot of the time, oh, if a goalkeeper saves an insane shot, he doesn't get as much respect as when an attacker scores. So I think that's a huge reason why attackers are more highly rated than defenders, than midfield goalkeepers. But overall, Messi, the way he played, he's one of those players that revolutionized the way that football works. Under Pep Guardiola is where everything began, of course. The way he instructed to drop into the midfield. Even nowadays, and even if it's not under Pep, just by instinct, by his own play style, drops into the midfield. And the reasons he drops into the midfield is not only to help out defensively or to try to take the ball. I mean, he does not do that at all in the past few years. He just walks. If the ball goes right by him, he just doesn't care. He doesn't attempt to try to intercept the ball. But in his early days at Barcelona under Pep Guardiola, he was more of a player who was instructed to, especially because of the strictness of Pep, he was instructed to drop into the midfield to help defensively, make those interceptions. Not only to help defensively, but reasons why he dropped into the midfield, especially because of the Pep tactics. And even nowadays, he doesn't play under Pep, but just by instinct, just because of the player he is and the player he's become, he drops into the midfield to one, help defensively, two, to create space for his attackers in the front, and three, to give options to the midfielder. So, take an example: Kevin De Bruyne, Luka Modric. These players, they're making insane assists through the midfield, flip over the defense into a run. Like let's say let's say Luka Modric, he sees Vinny making that run in behind, sends a curved through ball around the defender. Vinny cutting inside to get past the defender, the goal. Rodrigo, same for Benzema. Chips over, outside foot shot. You saw that against Chelsea. Gets the ball. Ferland Mendy gets the ball quickly, gives it to Modric. Modric outside foot shot to Rodrigo, and Rodrigo scores. Very simple, pass and go. The way the way Modric is able to move the ball in the attack. Same with Kevin De Bruyne, man. This guy is the best playmaker in the Premier League history, I'd say, at least from what I've seen, of course. The way he's able to curl the ball around. There's that one insane assist where there's we can take actually there's this website I wanted to podcast. Let's bring that up because we show the way that these top players play. We see over here. Let's just quick add. So this is the opposing team one one. This is gonna be yeah. I want to use this website to show why these players are the best. List right, guys. But going back to Messi, this is Messi here. Let's switch this out for number 10. You guys know who we're talking about? Oh, we'll make him the blue one. The player we're talking. No, we'll just put 10. Okay, so this is Messi here, right? Drops into the midfield. Now what this does is Barcelona are more of a 4-3, like with a defensive, which was Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets here. So more of a defensive midfielder to make those triangle passes. So what Messi does. So let's say they're in the attack here. Suarez, let's say like waiting to make that run in behind over here. Then I don't know. Let's put this guy's higher as well. Guys more Messi over press over here. DM over here trying to mark Suarez type thing. The DM here. So the reason why Messi drops into the midfield is because what this does is now Iniesta or what this does is now let's say Xavi can come more here. Now this guy's also gonna move here, and now what this does is now you have this option here. Now what this guy can do here, gonna go here. This guy's gonna come mark him. or now this guy's gonna come mark over here. Now this guy is free, so he's more free here. Messi does a pass over here, because what happened was when Messi, take a look at that again, okay? Very hard to explain, like by drawing it. Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, and Messi is here in the right wing. Let's say drops into the midfield, right? Okay, so this guy was marking 1-on-1 on Xavi, and this guy's marking Iniesta. Busquets has the ball. Iniesta or Xavi drops back. This guy just keeps following him, and then Messi drops into this midfield to give an extra option because no one is marking him. Now, this guy, number 1 over here, black number 1, is going to go press Messi. What Messi is going to do is pass it right back to the Busquets. He's going to push him, and now he's going to push him while still trying to mark Messi, and now Xavi is open. So now the ball goes to Xavi. Tiki taka. Now he presses here. Oh, he drops a bit back as well. Push over here. These two guys are gonna push. Suarez makes the run in behind, chip over, bang into the back of the net. So Messi dropping back to give more passing options. Not only that, he can drop back. Stuff here. The right winger. He drops back to give the option, and now this area is open. Now Iniesta makes the run. Iniesta over here. This guy's gonna press open in the middle here. Suarez makes that run, send a through ball in the back of the net. This is why Messi, he drops back not to give more passing options, to allow for his teammates to make those runs in behind, and also just to defend as well. Let's say over here, let's say they're making a pass from, let's put him back here, but let's say like this guy wants to pass over here. Messi will drop in to get the ball, and then boom, on a quick counter attack here. Makes a run over here, presses here, so he passes here, makes a run in behind, back here, running with the ball, and then so he drops into the defense to help to give more options for the tiki-taka playstyle that Barcelona play, to help to allow his teammates to get forward, and then he makes the playmaking opportunity as a midfielder instead, and also to help defensively. This is why he's one of the greats. Where he's able to, his body feints, one of the best. He's one of the best. If not, like you can say Cruyff is up there, is the inventor of body feints, but Messi is one of the best who utilize the body feints so well. Steps over the ball, feints to the right, goes to the left, right, real quick. His small touches to keep the ball close to his feet, the consistent dribbling going while building up the gameplay in the attack. It's just the best. So Messi, 7 all-time top Ballon d'Or award winner, won the World Cup recently, went to 2 World Cup finals, won the World Cup. He has 3 Champions League trophies, crazy. Several La Liga titles, 7 Golden Boots, whatever. All these personal trophies, player trophies, and also club trophies. And it's not just he's part of the team, so he was on the bench half the time. He earned the trophy. It's not like those types of lazy trophies. He was a key player. He was the best player for the Barcelona team, and the main reason why Barcelona won many of their league titles, their Champions League, the trophies that Barcelona won, because of him. He was a very important. He was the best player, the key player in the team, and he was the reason why he won a lot of his league title or club titles for sure. He was he like always involved every single match after match after match, always involved. Even for Argentina, for Barcelona, for Paris as well. So top player, of course, Messi has to be up there. Nothing much else to say. Second player, as I said, now we're going into the first player that I didn't really watch much of. I didn't watch any of, like in terms of maybe highlights. Jorginho. This guy was different. You could say Garrincha was better. I mean, they played together. I think he played with Pele as well, of course. It was the 1970 World Cup. This guy scored in every single game of the World Cup, and still did not win the top goal scorer because Gerd Muller got the top goal scorer in that World Cup with 10 goals in the Cup. Crazy. That's pretty crazy. But Jorginho, man, this guy my nightmare in FIFA. I'm not just saying it because of FIFA, but I watched a few highlights prior to recording the podcast. And yet again, I think it's not just Jorginho, but it's every single Brazilian. Garrincha, Pele, Neymar, Ronaldinho. The way they're able to feint, step over, quick step over, and when they do that step over, the player presses quick step over to kind of trick the player to move, and then to stutter, and then once they stutter, they get out of, I guess, like defensive shape. Quick touch to. This guy was the fastest. Like I was watching the highlights, bro. The ball is sent over. Uh, this guy is closer to the ball, and somehow Jorginho is getting in behind and getting the ball, man. Somehow, and then just cross in or something. Maybe skill back, like, oh, now these guys all come back to defend, and maybe like pass it back into the top of the box, and then I don't know, they build up from there. But the way he was able to run in behind the defense as a wing, this guy was a speedster, man. And as I said, it's not just Jorginho, but every Brazilian, man. The samba, the Brazilian flair, man. These guys rainbow flicking, controlling the ball in the air. The rainbow flick, the I don't know, elasticos, the step overs, feints. These guys were the best of them. Was just one of the best. Sure. As I said, I think one of the main reasons is because of what he did in that World Cup, and not many people can score 7 goals in a World Cup. Mbappe, I think he scored 7 or 8 the past World Cup. He scored in every single World Cup, even every single World Cup match in that 1970 World Cup. He won the World Cup. He scored in the final as well. Iconic picture with Pele, Jorginho. Iconic picture right here, Jorginho, my nightmare in FIFA. But yeah, nothing much to say because, as I said, I did not watch much of him. I just watched a highlight prior to recording this podcast. But yeah, he has to be up here as the best, one of the best wingers of all time. And as I said, guys, I'm trying to keep it to more players in the past, in our generation, in the 21st century. But of course, there's many players that could be better than Jorginho. George Best, he could be better. When you go to strikers, you can say instead of Ronaldo Nazario, Gerd Muller should be up there. I mentioned him, but he's not on my list because I did not watch much of him. So keep those in mind. So Jorginho, same situation. There's one I did not watch most of him. I just watched I've seen some of his highlights, and I saw a highlight. I watched a 5-10 minute highlight of him prior to recording this podcast. So that in mind, and also I'm trying to keep more players in our generation as well. So keep all those in mind, guys. It's not this for many people. This this can be very very different. Let's go to number 3. This guy, man, as a right wing. He also played on the left wing for Barcelona. Man, this guy was a magician. No wonder why Florentino, why Papi Perez wanted to sign him for Barcelona and rat away to Real Madrid. Won many titles. He was a key, not only a playmaker. The runs he was able to make, line, brilliant. His finishing, outside foot, not outside foot, next shots, brilliant. As I said, his feints, his step overs, so has to be up there. So yeah, that is Figo. Yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about all these, about every player. I want to make it a bit more of a shorter episode. Lastly, honorable mention for the right wing, Maria, guys. Di Maria. Could say he's overrated at being underrated. Could say that, but for sure he's definitely an underrated player. I'd say overrated at being underrated because I'm not the only one. A lot of people say rated, so now he's overrated. But you get what I mean. Di Maria. You could say at Madrid he was more of a left winger, but at Paris, even in recent years, in Argentina, he's more of a. Actually, for Argentina, is a left winger as well. But I'm gonna put him in my right wing list. Um, but yeah, this guy, man, his ability to to control the ball. There's a game, I think it was the 2020/2021 season, where Davies and I don't know, Goretzka or Kimmich marking him here. Neymar and Di Maria, man, are just playing the ball back and forth, back and forth. The way he's able to keep the ball close to him, able to the elastical around the player. He's like a quick elastical. We can even draw it here. Elastical around him. make the run in behind and then get around the player, cross it in. He finds like a Kylian Mbappe, and Mbappe just gets into the back of the net. The way he's able to build, the runs he makes in behind. You saw the World Cup against France this past, the most recent World Cup in Qatar. Makes that run. You see Messi to Alvarez, and then you have McAllister making the run here. So over here you have Messi over here, then Alvarez. Let's say all of these defenders are pushed up. Attackers. Here Hernandez is more up here. This guy pushed over here. Here. You have this, okay? Di Maria makes that run. Julian Alvarez over here. Then McAllister keeps on going. This guy trying to press him. Get all the way here. Bit behind, of course. And over here. And the way Di Maria is able to chip the ball over, the way that Hugo Lloris comes, Di Maria has the ball. The ball is played, of course. Here McAllister runs with it, finds his teammate Di Maria. The way he's able to control the ball first time touch to get it over Hugo Lloris while Lloris is pressing him. Crazy. His chip shot's crazy. One of the best chip shot takers ever. As I said, his playmaking, the way he's able to dribble with Paris Saint-Germain back in his days when I watched most of him. And yeah, as I said, the runs he's able to make behind at Real Madrid. He runs in behind, cuts inside, makes a pass into Ronaldo. Ronaldo, boom, into the back of the net, of course. Benzema to Bale. Brilliant. So, yeah, for that reason, up there as my honorable mention. Let's go to the best left wingers of all time. Starting off with Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm going to put him in my left wing list and not the striker list. Because most of his time at United, maybe even all of his time at United, the left winger, left midfielder, you can say. The reason why people could say, oh, he's a striker, maybe at his second stint at United, also his later days at Madrid, and also his days at Juve, he was a striker. But early days in both Madrid and also all his time at United, he was more of a left midfielder, a left winger. And a lot of the times why people say he's a striker is because of his ability to cut inside. This guy, man. This guy, Ronaldo. Actually, no, let's switch the number as well. Ronaldo, man. The way he's able to run in behind. And the way when two men are pressing, he's able to feint to the left, feint to the right. Step over, merchant. Step overs while moving down the line and being marked. And then he's doing like some other step overs. He feints to the right and goes to the left, drops this guy on the floor, goes back into the midfield, and then he finesses curls it wide. Or he finds Wayne Rooney, he finds Giggs, let's say. The way he's able to do all of that is just crazy, man. Crazy. Did Giggs not Giggs, bro. Ian Giggs? No, that's Ian Rush. What was his name? Ryan Giggs? Yeah, see, with Ferdinand as well in the back line, just ability to cross it in. And as I said, not only he didn't go down the wing and then cut inside. He moves into the midfield and then he's long shots from all the way back here. Free kick, one of the probably the best free kick taker. Not just from close, from wide, out wide as well. I like the way that Messi shoots kicks because it kind of curl type free kick better. Ronaldo can do that as well. Ronaldo's knuckleballs, the power, the finishing that Ronaldo has. As I said, not in his United days, he more of a winger down the wing, cross it in or cut inside back to the top of the box, then find one of his teammates, or his ability to come into the drop over here into the midfield. The way he also presses as well. He's more of a player who presses the ball to get the ball back. Always hungry for the ball, dedicated. The best athletic player, of course, sports as well. Maybe Uh, one of the best athletic players of all time, probably the best athletic player. Bayern's athleticism is also crazy, but Ronaldo, man, the way he's able to feel the feints, the step over merchant, and as I said, goes down the line, crosses it in, cuts inside, finesse. The runs he makes in behind to receive a ball, and then he scores. His headering as well, tallest. I think he had one of the highest jumps football, in his UVA days at 35 years old as well. 35, 36. Those jumps, that's pretty crazy, man. That is actually crazy. Top goal scorer for United, and when he went in his second stint, bro, and they still kicked him out of the club. Crazy respect, man. Towards his end of his career. He was on the bench at the World Cup. Respect, but younger days, in his prime days, skills he had, and then I think he started becoming more of a playmaker, becoming like all of a sudden after the when was it 2014 World Cup when he had that big when I think it was 2014 he had the big injury, or it was 2010 or 2014. He became more of a instead of more of a skiller like his early days at United. He started becoming more of a player who the ball, and he's the one who's like I don't know how to. He kind of changed the way he played, becoming more of a playmaker as well. Started to become more of a playmaker rather than a. So maybe that's just the Real Madrid way that they play. To not like always have the ball, to move the ball around the Madrid way, the Spanish way. But yeah, Ronaldo, man, not much else to say about him. Best striker or best winger up there. Him and Messi, the top two best players. Second player, Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho, guys. Ronaldinho. PSG legend, of course, so maybe a bit of bias there. But I'm putting Ronaldinho over Neymar. I don't know, I would personally say Neymar was in terms of technicality, in terms of playing as a team, the pass and go tactic, the playmaking. I might say Neymar was better, but in terms of a career, in skills, in terms of the skills and stuff, I think 100%, uh, Ronaldinho had a better career. He won one or two or two Ballon d'Ors, I believe, two World Cup titles as well. I mean, what else can you say? He won a Champions League. Actually, no, yeah, he did win a Champions League with Barcelona. But not with Barca. Did he win Barca? Yeah, with Barcelona. Oh, sick. Wait, did he win Milan? I don't know if he won with Milan. I guess not, but yeah, he won with Barcelona. Yeah, yet again, the way he's able to skill, man, very very similar to the young Cristiano Ronaldo. Step over, control the ball in the air, rainbow flick over defender, control the. Oh, he's being pressed here, flicks it over the defender, gets in behind. Elastic. This guy was the elastical merchant, man. Being pressed here. Oh no, no worries. Elastico. Just do a quick elastico in behind, and then long shot, finesse shot into behind. His chip shots to get it over, of course. Um, yeah, the runs he made behind. What I really liked about Ronaldinho when I watch his highlights is he's one of the few players who's able to skill, but also skill into open space, to find open space. You see over here. Let's say these guys are up here. Let's say he's being pressed over here. This guy here. This guy like over here. I don't know. Move it around here. But see, let's say he like this guy makes more run here. Guy like what he's able to man on him. Let's say able to get in between both of them. Like do it elastical and then a reverse elastical. Step overs. He does step overs as well. Get in between both of them. And now he has all this open space to himself. Guys come and press as well. They try to go press. He chips it over and to Messi. Messi scores, or to whoever, Eto, Thierry Henry. Ability to do that. His ability to find the open space, flick it over. He flicks it over. gets in behind. His ability to skill into open space was what I really liked about him when I watched those highlights. Yet again, I think as a playmaker, and as a team player, in terms of um, I would say that Neymar was better, but in terms of because of here, I think and yeah, Neymar, of course, he has to be on my list. Yeah, man, this guy in every World Cup, man, in every single World Cup, 2014, 20, this past World Cup as well. Uh, when was it in um Copa America? He loses in home to Argentina in 2021 or yeah, one. And then when he was injured, when was it? Was it 2015? Um, not that year. Champions Year 2019. He was injured, man. He was injured, so he didn't get awarded the for that title as well, man. That's just sad. That is really sad. So injured in big moments for national trophies. But I think yeah, and at PSG he was our best player. So in terms of, as I said, in playmaking, Neymar is our best, of course. People, oh no, I'm deleting the play. In terms of playmaking, Neymar is much clear of Ronaldinho. But in terms of skills, definitely up there. But I'd say Dino was better because he's able to open space. What I will say about Neymar though, his skills are also up there, very similar to, very identical to Neymar or to Ronaldinho. But the difference about Neymar's skills, there's a lot of rainbow flicks. Um, there's a lot of rainbow flicks, but to beat one-on-one opponents, and then what he does, then he passes it, runs in behind. He makes a run in behind. Suarez, him, the connection, him, Suarez, Messi, the back to net shots. But I think the skills for Neymar are just. I think it's very similar to Ronaldinho. Very very close call. As I said, I think that maybe Neymar had better skills. You could say as well. Maybe that's a bit of PSG bias. Maybe because I watched Neymar more than I watched Ronaldinho. I would say that. I think one of the biggest reasons why I rated Dino over Neymar is because of the career. But in terms of playmaking, Albert like a left winger. In terms of playmaking, same skills and stuff, I'd say Neymar is better. So honestly, I don't know. I think, but they can't just be like, oh, the best winger, and then I'll have a good. Maybe I'm the best striker of all time, but bro, you could say that. So I would say somewhat of a career has to be up there as well to be included in some sort of list. I don't know if that's that negative ball knowledge there. And then my honorable mention for my last left winger is gonna be Mbappe, man. Of course, yeah, as I said, there's so many players that are clear of Mbappe, but already set one of the best for how young he is, 24, 22 years old. Already had one of the best careers, better than many other players to play the sport. Won a World Cup, made it to a World Cup final, and was the most important player. Made history in a World Cup final. Second player to score a hat trick in the World Cup final. They were 2-0 down, and he carried them back to 2-0. The 2-2. That was just crazy. Made it to the Champions League final. Of course, top goal scorer for his club already at 24 years old. He was at the club for 6 years and top goal scorer for PSG. Just crazy, man. So, Mbappe, man, his ability as well is so much clearer of many other strikers or left wingers out there as well. 100%. His ability to read the game, to get past defenders as well. His speed as well, man. This guy's speed is different. Much. I said Jay Z was one of the best fast player when I watched the highlights, but man, Mbappe is literally like No one can catch Mbappe. If it gets in front of you, you're screwed. You're done. You're done. You're literally done. Literally done. Able to the step overs, to get in between, to get the ball out of tight spaces. Nutmegs, does the nutmegs, the step overs, the feints as well. And not just even when he doesn't have the ball. Uh, when you watch Mbappe's highlights, not many people do this. Maybe Thierry Henry because that he learned Henry, but not many people like. You take a look at Ronaldinho, Neymar. Not many people do this, but what he does is, let's say, oh, over here, what he does is he drops back and drops back. Defenders are gonna push, like kind of push, and now he has all this open space to run in behind. Over a lot of the time, you see this happening. You see it with it a lot of the time. The reason is because, oh, when he, let's say Neymar here, like, oh, Verratti to Neymar here, these players, oh, Mbappe drops back because, and now these players are gonna push because they think, oh, Neymar, he's dropping back to give an option and Neymar will pass to him. But in fact, he's dropping back, drag these players out of their position, and now he uses his speed, gets in behind Neymar, of course, with his fantastic playmaking abilities, gets it to Mbappe, and Mbappe scores into the back of the net. That's like just on the ball and off the ball. He's such a technical ability player, one of the best out there. As I said, for his age, he's had a career better than many other players already. So, yeah, man, all he has to do, go to Madrid and win 5 World Cup or 5 Champions League, and he's done. He's done his career. Win a Ballon d'Or, win 2 Ballon d'Ors. He's already had a better career than many other players for sure, 100%. So, have to give that out. Yeah, let's just go ahead and reveal the strikers. I don't know if we'll talk about Van Basten because yet again I didn't watch much of him, but we're gonna go to strikers and of course with Pele first. I didn't mention Pele, like Messi and Ronaldo are better than Pele, but yet again for his generation, for what football was back then, Pele being the best player, like better than anyone else back then, was something else. Imagine being called the best player. Like, of course, like football back then was easier than it is right now because of the rules and stuff. And back then he was the best, so I think like he was the first best GOAT player of all time. Top goal scorer, of course, at least from what he says. Because back then, man, they didn't. From the 90s, man, you expect them to record stuff on technology. No, it's on paper and it can be changed very easily. So, and not many people are going to remember when Pele played, so no one will know exactly the amounts of goals that Pele had. Um, but yeah, man, Pele, like he was the bet. He was like the first goat. You could say. You know how we say, oh, Ronaldo Nazario was the goat, Ronaldinho was the goat. Oh, Ronaldo and Messi are here now. Now they're the goat. So he was like the first goat, you can say. Revolutionized football. Said, oh, why can't we have Brazilian samba in football? He revolutionized it. He brought the samba, man. He brought the samba to the sport of football. See, Brazilians always have it. Now he brought it to the rest of the world. Mbappe now doing it. Ronaldo doing it. Figo. All these players. Di Maria. They're able they've learned these skills, these step over merchants. The rainbow flick, to flick the ball in the air to get it over past the defender. They've learned it all from these Brazilians, and especially from Neymar, or from Pele, the first to do it, the first to revolutionize. He was like, "Oh, I'm not scared to do these in a game. If it works, it works. Why not use it more?" So Pele revolutionized it. Most World Cup wins. How much does he have? 4 or 5 World Cups? Not five. 3 World Cups, not 4 or 5. That's how much Argent. That's how much Brazil have. Um, he has three. Yeah, he has three. You know the famous picture of him holding three Pele World Cup pick. Yeah, see, holding three here. And supposedly he would have at least a good 5, 6, 7 Ballon d'Ors as well if Ballon d'Or was a thing. Actually, it could have been a thing, but back then Ballon d'Or wasn't awarded to players outside of Europe. So 100% he would have had Ballon d'Ors at the same level as Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, 100%. So Hella there for you. Ronaldo Nazario, bro. He the best striker. Oh, can I? What is this? What am I selecting, man? Ronaldo Nazario, man. This guy, the attacker. Let's just switch it up. Our number 10 is the player we're talking about all the time. The way he's able to feints to the right. He has the ball in front of him. This guy had one of the best feints as well. He feints to the left, goes here, and now he has this open space. The run in behind, the step over his run. He just runs, bro. He doesn't. Back then, like you can say, he was the Zlatan of back then. He doesn't care. He just continues running, bro. Run, 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 score. This guy was different, as I said yet again. The Brazilian flair that he had, the rainbow flicks, I mean, he didn't do any rainbow flicks a lot, but the way he's able to, the elasticos. This guy was elastical merchant, step over merchant, and a very, very fast player. The runs this guy makes in behind. Yet again, when you watch a few of his highlights, he's one of those few players very similar to Mbappe, who off the ball as well, he's able to drop back. Maybe he doesn't drop back, but he's able to run one direction and quickly move another direction. And that initial run drags out the defender, and now all this open space. He has all this open space here. So so very similar to Mbappe, where he's able to drag a defender out, create open space, get into that open space, make that run, and then get the goal. Receives the ball, get the goal. So now the Nazario, one of those few players, and then number 3, Erling Haaland for sure. There's definitely better players than Haaland, like Van Basten, of course. But for his first season, what you can say the best league in the world, which probably is the best league in the world, broke the Premier League record. 36 goals was it? 36 goals. Won the treble on his first season. Was the most important player for that City team. In his first season, what you can say the hardest league in the world, won the treble, was just different, man. This guy is different. Erling Haaland. Probably gonna be the next, like, oh, do you think he could if he really could, he could really honestly destroy the Messi's record of most goals in a calendar year. 100%. 100%. If he keeps scoring goals, I mean, how many goals does he have already? How? This calendar year. So it's saying, oh no, it's just Champions League. 12 goals in the Champions League already, man. That's 20. Say how many scored in 20, but that's not 36. That was even, but like 100%. Like how many of those goals? Like we can say, but let's say even half of those goals were in the was the first half of this 2020. That's still at least, like, how many is that? 30, 50 plus 30, 18 goals. That's still 18 goals. That's like 20 goals basically. The record 91. I feel like that's pretty beatable if he keeps on going. 100%. 100%. So he could break it if he keeps on scoring, man. The ability, he's a robot, man. You not see when the ball's in the air, this guy jumps. Like, this guy is a literal robot. He jumps like 10 meters up in the air, gets it. Not only with his head, with his feet, bro. He's launching himself into the air, man. A rocket. So yeah, Haaland up there. Guys, that's gonna end off the episode today. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. A lot of my negative ball knowledge definitely showed, because as I said, like, some of these players I didn't watch a lot, like Ronaldinho, Jairzinho, Pele, Ronaldo Nazario. But when I watched a few of their highlights prior to this, so I had to choose them. So also for their career as well, I explained why some of these players are ranked in order as well. So yeah, that is that. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Next episode will be Tuesday. We have a few good games. a few good friendlies this weekend. So either Monday or Tuesday we'll have the next episode. But yeah, for now, have a good one. Stay positive, stay safe, and I'll see you later.